Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I am Sammy Jo Perusa, co-founder and COO of a gaming network. Today we are here at the Raptors Uprising room, thanks to the MLSE guys for letting us use the room. This is our first ever interview and I'm super excited to be interviewing Jess from Femme Gaming. So hi Jess, how are you doing today?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me, Sammy.
Oh, no problem. Now, could you introduce yourself, tell us more about the org, what do you do, how did you get into it, stuff like that?
Yeah, so the organization is called Femme Gaming, and we're a woman-led esport and gaming community empowering women and gamers. As we know, for some reason, when we think of a video game, we think of a teenage boy, yet 45% of gamers identify as women, and the average female gamer is 30 plus. So we definitely want to market to women, although we love also marketing to our allies as well and having them part of our initiative.
What aspects of the organization are there that people can expect from Femme Gaming, like online, in real life?
Yeah, so basically our mission is, as I said, we're empowering women in gaming and we're trying to normalize women in gaming. So a lot of things that we do is we go to in-person events. We have our Femme Gaming Lounge. We have our Twitch shows, our Ladies Power Hour, our Press Start streams. So those are just a couple of things that we do to create Femme Gaming community and ensure that we're, making sure that we have our head in the game, or our space is there and we're being present.
Yeah, and then for your organization, right, is it Canada-based, international, NA-based?
Yeah, so we're based out of Toronto, Canada. That's where we started, but our community is worldwide, actually. We have people from Netherlands, Australia, South Africa, Europe, South America. So we're so excited to see that there's, a community worldwide that knows about Femme Gaming. Our community, our hashtag is the FEMMEARMY. So there's, Femme armies worldwide, and I'm really excited that, it started off in Toronto and it exploded worldwide, which really shows that this is needed. You know what I mean? Women want to see women empowerment in gaming. Women want to see themselves playing games. Women want to be represented, and I'm so happy that it's a success so far.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Now, what about you specifically? I want to hear more about, what made you start the organization? What year is it? What was your position at the time?
Yeah, so Femme Gaming started back in 2020, but my video game career or experience started back in 2013, I believe. And there was a Call of Duty release back at Yorkdale Mall back in the day when people actually waited in line for video games.
So do you remember what specific Call of Duty game it was?
I don't. You know what? If I go back, I know it wasn't a Black Ops, and it was a Modern Warfare, I believe. I just can't remember which one. And it was a midnight release. We're at Yorkdale. 12 o'clock, doors open. People are coming in to get the game. But it was also an experience. So we had sloppy joes being served. We had, a face painting section, so people were putting on the army paint. People were creating dog tags, and it was so much fun. We were doing giveaways, and at the end of the day, I think we ended at 4 a.m. I was like, wow, this was so much fun. I felt like I didn't work. I felt like I went to an event and I had fun, even though I was the employee. And so I was like, I need to get more into video game events. And so I started to look online, and I found more video game events and esport events. So I started doing a lot of work with PlayStation and working a lot of the MLSE games with the Toronto Raptors and the Toronto Maple Leafs representing PlayStation and the VR when it first came out, and doing a lot of 2K games and a lot of Chell games with PlayStation. And then it slowly started turning into esport events, and esport events became really popular. And so I started working for this company where I would go and set up the consoles. And so I'd show up at the facility by myself, and I would go up to the guys and I would be like, hey, so I'm here to work. And the look on their face was like, what, you are here to set up the consoles? And they were like, oh, they kind of looked at each other like, oh God, okay, they asked me, do you know how to use a console? Have you set up anything like this? And I'm like,
it's your job, yeah.
Well, of course, obviously someone hired me because I know what I'm doing. And second of all, setting up a console, there's two cords involved. There's an HDMI cord and a power cord. And to think that I wouldn't be able to put those two cords together in a console was like, you know, like they thought I was an alien.
Yeah.
And it happened the first time and I was like, okay, whatever. It happened the second, third, fourth time. People like questioning me, why am I here? Can I do this? But no one else was being questioned. And then I realized, oh, because I'm the girl.
Yeah.
And I realized they were treating me differently because I was a female. And so I started doing my research and I was like, well, how many women are gamers? Because back in the day, I thought I felt like I was the only woman gamer.
Yeah.
I felt like there wasn't a big community and I felt alone. And so when I did my research, I was like, almost 45% of gamers are women. I'm like, why isn't anyone marketing to these people? Why isn't anyone giving them a safe space? Why do we automatically think of a teenage boy? Like, what has the industry been doing the last 20 years?
Yeah.
So because of my experiences and then learning through like the information that was out there, I was like, I need to start Femme Gaming. I need to like help or try to end the toxicity online. I need to give women a chance to play. I need to market to women and show them that, yeah, like Sammy's wearing one of our shirts right now. You know, like they can buy cool video game stuff that relates to them and it works. And so that's kind of what started. Also, you don't see any esport players that are female. And so Femme Gaming's trying to fill that gap as well. So is, as I said, just really my experiences, my negative experiences, and knowing that there's a market and no one's hitting that market.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, knowing that 46% of gamers identify as women, what were like the specific challenges you've had to face while like creating the organization, either at its inception or even like to this day? Mm-hmm. Do you face like any really big challenges?
We do work with great partners like MLSC, who does jump through the hoops with us and makes us comfortable and does a lot of great things with us. So it's just, you know, being taken seriously as a female gamer, being taken seriously as a woman-led organization, and really showing that like we do the dirty work as the organization. We show up at the events, we do the Twitch shows, you know, no one's getting paid, we're all volunteers, but I feel like the impact that we have made in the last 3 years, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah. And like 100%, I've only recently come into the organization and I feel like it's been such a game changer. And like, I love that you guys reached out to me. And ever since I kind of like discovered what Femme Gaming is, I've always loved the message, the meaning, and there's a lot of power behind that. Like a community of women just like hoping to do better and make gaming space better and safer for everyone. So Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
So what are some like, what's your like epic gaming moment that you've had in the Femme Gaming army? Like, do you have like a one moment that you're just like, wow, this was like really neat and like really cool?
Yeah, so I think like when we go to certain events and people see, you know, the Femme Gaming Lounge and the consoles and the purple carpet that we have and the girly stuff if you want to call it, and they're just like, wow, this is here, like, wow, like, oh my God, I imagine if this was around 20 years ago, or imagine if this was around when I was a kid, or so it's amazing to see people come together in the lounge and play together. Just for example, we were in Calgary and we had a mom who wanted to breastfeed, and she's walking around the convention. She saw our lounge, went up to us and said, "Hey, do you mind if I breastfeed here?" And we were like, of course, like, you know, like that's the point of this, to make the women feel comfortable, so that be themselves.
Yeah.
I had like, you know, like a dad drop off his two girls and said, oh my God, I'm so happy this is here. My two girls can play video games and I know they're safe. I know they're in a safe environment. So that feels really good. And then just having like the women come and being like, oh, this is awesome, like rock on, like continue doing what we're doing. Or they're like, we want to support you, can we buy our merchandise? Like, we want to wear the FEMMEARMY t-shirts, we want to wear the empowered woman, empower everyone. We want to like show that we're female gamers and we want to support the cause. So I think really the in-person events are not like anything else, and to really people see to like see their faces when they see the lounge is really inspiring, and that's the point, is to have those girls play at a young age, so then they can start becoming, you know, pro esport players at 17, 18. But if they don't start playing at 13, 14, they'll never fill that gap.
Yeah. And like, I know we've talked about this briefly out of interview, but in the interview, You've recently announced that you're partnering with Mohawk College. What is it about sports and school esports in school that you think is so important? It's like you kind of talked about like getting in on entry level. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think it's so important for women to get into education with esports or video game creation, whichever way you want to go. Mohawk has the two programs, an esport administration program and then a video game design program. And I think it's so important for women to take advantage of these programs because it's a booming industry. There's more job opportunity in video game and esports than there is in traditional sports. So having Femme Gaming partner with Mohawk College is super important to have women learn their skills through education, learn their experiences through education, and taking that education and then creating a career out of it. And that's what we want to see. We want to see women in careers holding these high career positions in video game industry. We want to see them as esport players. We want to see them as tournament organizers. And I think having these education programs is an amazing stepping stone to get into the industry.
Yeah. What do you think like the next step is? So would you want to partner with more colleges or even get like to high school or elementary school? What would like your dream team be?
Next steps would be definitely, to have video game tournaments in high school, even at an elementary school level. That would be awesome too. But having an esport organization at the high school level would be awesome. We're already seeing collegiate esports becoming a thing, which is awesome. And I think the next step is to get into like the elementary and high school area and, provide tournaments for them, having co-ed tournaments as well. Although we are Femme Gaming, we try to stay away from all female tournaments because that doesn't help and solve the problem. We're all about bringing everyone together. And so we're really excited to have a co-ed tournament happening in 2024. And yeah, that's just, next steps is definitely, get into high schools and then eventually from there create a pro team. However, if it's an all-female team or a co-ed team, something that we definitely want to see happen as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And obviously being a female gamer, growing up kind of in the gaming space, toxicity and just harassment can be such a barrier to female and female presenting people getting into esports and gaming. How does you or the organization kind of like deal with those challenges of like toxicity and hate online?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways that you can look at it. I think when I was younger, I used to ignore it because I was not confident and I wasn't able to call it out. And so I would turn my mic off and I would only play as a male avatar because I didn't want people to know I was a female gamer because I didn't want to feel the bullying and the toxicity. But now I'm like, no, I'm a female girl. I'm a female character. It says it in my name. If you want to be toxic, I will call you out on it. I will ask you, oh, like, why are you telling me to go to the kitchen? Are you unable to do it yourself? Like, is there, like, you know what I mean? Like, why? I don't understand. Like, can we not just, I just literally call them out. I'm not negative back. There's no point of being negative back. I feel like that will just, internally just not help you and you might and don't take it too seriously. What I do, as I said, I call it out, or if I don't want to deal with it, I just I turn my mic off and I don't deal with it. But what we're trying to do as Femme Gaming is normalize it in person. So hopefully when people play online together, they will be like, oh yeah, I played with the Femme Gaming girls, or oh yeah, like women play together, or oh yeah, we saw the lounge, and it's an everyone thing. It's not just a guy thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how we deal with the toxicity is, trying to promote a safe environment in person, and then online, try not to engage with the toxicity too much, call it out, make it aware in the game that that person is being toxic. If they still want to continue being toxic, just let it go because you can't change everyone.
Yeah, 100%. And now does Femme Gaming have like a Discord or like an online forum that they can come together and like say vent if they wanted to?
Yeah, so we do have a Discord community. We have over 3,000 gamers worldwide in the Discord community that we meet, we talk. We do have like a venting group in there. We have like a gamer mom group. We have a collegiate group. So there's, you could fit wherever in the group. And then we have like our Facebook group as well, which if you're not on Discord, you can use Facebook. And then, as I said, like in person, when we have events, you can always meet other gamer girls in person too.
I guess my next question is a little bit of a fun one, but if your gaming organization can have one theme song, what would it be and why?
So I was thinking about this, and I think it would be Unstoppable by Sia, because I feel like the FEMMEARMY, we're not going to stop, we're going to keep going, you know, and I think the whole song just represents the FEMMEARMY. Like, we're here to stay, you're not going to stop us.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep going until where we are, where we need to be, which is equal opportunity within esports and video games.
Awesome, that's a very good one. And if you could choose any video game character as, say, the Femme Gaming mascot, who would it be and why?
You know, there's several characters that can, you know, resemble the FEMMEARMY and our community. But for now, I'm just going to stick with Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, because Lara Croft is an archaeologist, but a lot of the other archaeologists don't take her seriously or don't consider her as an archaeologist because she's a woman. And I feel like that kind of is like in our industry, like people don't see you as a gamer, or people don't see you as an esport player because you're a girl. They're just like, oh, you just like to do it because it's popular now. It's like, no, I enjoy doing it. I'm a female gamer. I am who I am. On top of that, Lara Croft faces a bunch of challenges, and she always rises to the occasion. So I feel like that's what we do at Femme Gaming. We feel a lot of challenges in the industry, but we always rise to the occasion and get through and get what we need to get done.
I love that. Now, if someone wants to be involved in the Femme Gaming Army, where can they sign up, join, like the website, Twitter, what's all those handles? And also, as a second part to that question, say if there are, like, you know, male allies anywhere across like the queer spectrum, are they welcome? Do you mind if they join the Discord, stuff like that? Yeah,
so right now you could follow us at our website is femmegaming.gg. Our TikTok is femmegaminggg. Our Instagram is femmegaming. Right now, if you identify as a woman, you are allowed in our Discord. If you identify as a male, we encourage you to follow us on socials and try to, you know, support us that way. Our Discord is an inclusive environment for our women to meet and stay together, and that's why we want to keep it that way. In the future, we might have a separate section where allies can join, but right now it's inclusive for women, and we encourage our allies to 100% support us on socials.
So last question, really, what are the future goals? What's the vision? Where would you want to be, say, this time, 2 years from now, 3 years from now?
Yeah, so I think the organization, as I said, we definitely want to start a pro team and have our pro team, you know, go to compete in tournaments. Another thing that we want to see in the next 2 years is we want to see a lot more women esport players being represented. And those are our main goals. So to get a co-ed team, to get a team to put on a co-ed tournament and to put on a co-ed tournament. I think those are our two biggest goals that we're going to be doing in 2024.
Do you have a specific game in mind for a possible pro team or not yet?
I don't know yet. I think I might, I mean, if I had to choose just personally, it would be Call of Duty because that's my game of choice. However, just depending on, you know, what's popular and the players that we can acquire, you know, it might be a different game. So we'll see when the time comes.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. If you guys are interested, please check out Jess and Femme Gaming. And that's it. Thank you so much, and we are done.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.